will proceed to discuss you what is area vector. Now it is represented by symbol S vector. This represent area vector. First of all, you remember that area is a vector quantity. Area is a vector quantity. Its magnitude part is taken as its scalar quantity. And how will you find its direction? First, you remember the answer. If a given surface is given to you, let this paper is a surface, then its area vector is perpendicular to the surface. That means the dot pen represent the direction of area vector. That means the direction of area vector is always perpendicular, or you can say normal, to its given surface. Why we should remember the direction of area vector is normal? Then see your example. This is a figure of parallelogram, and this side is represented by B vector and this side is represented by A vector, and the angle between A vector and B vector is theta, and here a perpendicular is drawn on it. PQ length is B and OQ length is A. When you find the area of the parallelogram, formula is base into height. In base we represent PQ, for height we represent ON. Now we see this right angle triangle. From this right angle triangle we can say that sin theta is equal to ON by OP. Sin theta is equal to P by H, that is ON by OP. So ON is represented as OP sin theta, and its value of OP is A. So area of the given parallelogram is BA sin theta, or you can tell also AB sin theta. Now you recall your vector topic, that is cross product of two vectors. If it is represented or multiplied by sine of angle between two vectors, then it must be a vector quantity and it can be represented as cross product of two vectors. So from this example you confirm that area is a vector quantity. Again, from the definition of a cross product, you already know that the direction of a cross product is perpendicular to the plane of A vector and B vector obeying right hand screw rule. Here plane of A vector and B vector is here. This one is A and this one is B. So area vector must be perpendicular to the plane, either in this way or inwards. Here you say A to B is in a clockwise direction. That's why the area of a cross product here is vertically inwards, that is represented by cross mark. Now from this example you clear that the area vector is always perpendicular or normal to the given surface. If this is the shaded portion represent a surface area, small surface area ds, then its vector representation will be vertically upward, ds vector. How can you represent this ds vector? This is a magnitude part and this is unit vector, ds into n cap. Sometimes you may ask, sir, why this letter n is written here? Now this n letter is written for convenience of our students. Why? N means normal. That means instantly a student can recall that the area vector direction is normal to the given surface. That's why n cap letter is written here. So before going to electric flux, so you should all know that the direction of area vector is normal to the given surface. Now we can go through the example. If our given surface lie on xy plane, then its vector represent along the direction of z axis, because z axis is perpendicular to xy plane. But that means it is k cap. If the given surface lie on xz plane, then its area vector is represented along y axis. If the given surface is represented by yz plane, then its area vector is represented by x axis. That means you should always remember that the direction of area vector is always normal to the given surface. Then we will come to our topic, that is electric flux. Representation symbol is like that. Either simply you can say phi, or you can say phi subscript E for electric flux. But in later cases you will also discuss the magnetic flux, phi B, B for magnetic field, E for electric field. So you can represent by phi. First to remember what flux you have heard about the term flux. Sometimes you read water flux, a pipe water is coming. If you keep your palm on the surface of the water pipe, then you feel flux. Flux means something is coming out, air flux, water flux. Similarly, here we have electric flux. Electric flux means this is a lines of force. The other name of a lines of force is electric flux. That is a new name, and it is a new way for its representation. Already we have discussed what is lines of force. Now in another mathematical form, we have to represent electric flux. There are two types of electric flux. One is outward flux or diverging flux, and another was inward flux or converging flux. You see the figure. And this is the given surface. Some lines of force given out, that is outward flux. Here the given surface, the lines of force coming inside, that is inward flux. In previous class we have discussed, if the positive source charge, the lines of force is diverging in nature. For negative source charge, lines of force is converging in nature. So here the flux is outward or diverging for positive source charge, and flux is converging or inward for negative source charge. So what is electric flux? How will we represent it? By two methods we will represent it. First we have to give its qualitative definition, then we will go for its quantitative definition. Then what is electric flux? First thing we keep in your mind, electric flux is the other name of lines of force. But some scientific language is there. What you will say, what is electric flux? Now a surface is given to you. You have to count how the lines of force crossing normally through it. So you will say, what is electric flux? The electric flux represents the number of lines of force crossing normally through a given surface. The number of lines of force crossing normally through a given surface is known as electric flux. It may be positive flux or it may be negative flux. If it is outwards, that is positive flux. If it is inward, then it is negative flux. So you go through the definition carefully. Electric flux may be defined as, so many ways we can define, that's why letter may is given here. Electric flux may be defined as the number of lines of force passing normally, your language should be normally, through a surface in the given electric field. Again I am repeating, if this surface is given to you in the electric field, how many lines of force crossing normally through the given surface, that is known as electric flux. This is a qualitative definition, then we will go for a mathematical definition. Just to see, this is the figure represent, I have a line is here, but this is not a line, this is just a surface. You just, my palm is the surface, but it is represented as a line. This is a surface, this is not a line, but it is represented like that. This is surface. And in that surface, I have decided a point P where I have to calculate electric flux. First to see what is the direction of electric lines of force here. Now this represent electric lines of force. That means it is E vector. Now just we have read, if it is surface, then its area vector will be perpendicular to it. So this represent area vector, and this represent area, and this represent area vector. And let angle between area vector and electric field intensity is theta. Now you recall what is the formula of magnitude of electric field intensity. By formula we know that F by Q. But according to definition of a lines of force, we can also calculate the magnitude of electric field intensity. So you recall the definition of electric lines of force. The number of lines of force crossing per unit normal area gives the strength of the electric field intensity. So we have recalled that formula. So this intensity formula is taken from the definition of lines of force. What is the definition of lines of force? The number of lines of force per unit normal area gives the strength of the electric field intensity. Number of lines of force we represented as phi, or it is known as electric flux. Normal area means, you see, Sn, n means normal. No, area should be normal to the lines of force. Now you see the figure. This area is not normal to the lines of force, but we need normal area. So what we will do? we draw another figure here. You just see this figure. I will tell this is SN, normal area. I mean this area is perpendicular to the electric field intensity. So this is S and this is SN. If it is theta, then it will be 90 minus theta, then this one will be obviously theta. So you will say that if given area is S, normal area is SN, the angle between them is theta. From vector analysis we can say that if it is S, if it is SN, so SN should be S cos theta. So now you come to this formula, phi by SN, phi by S cos theta. Now you see phi is equal to ES cos theta. It is represented as a dot product of two vectors, E vector dot S vector. So electric flux, quantitatively how can you define electric flux? In exam you can also define in this way, no problem. Electric flux through a given surface may be defined as the dot product of electric field intensity and area vector. As it is represented as a dot product of two vector, it is a scalar quantity. So this is the mathematical expression just to get the knowledge how this formula is obtained. So when you discuss what is electrical flux, you can say in a qualitative manner. First, in introduction, how can you define electric flux? You can say electric flux is nothing but the number of lines of force passing normally through a given surface in the electric field. How can it is magnitude is represented? Electric flux is defined as the dot product of electric field intensity and the area vector. Now we will extend this formula in another way. You just see, for a small surface element ds is given, then small amount of flux will be E vector dot ds vector. If you will integrate both the sides, so total flux, this is represent total flux is integration of E vector dot ds vector. From this mathematical expression, we can also define the total electric flux. So total electric flux through a given surface is also defined as the surface integral of, this is known as surface integral of electric field intensity. That means it is integration of two dimensions. Surface integral of electric field intensity is also known as electric flux. So there are three definitions. One is, you can simply language, you can say the number of lines of force passing normally through a given surface is known as electric flux. Or you can simply say that it is the dot product of electric field intensity and area vector. Or you can also represent this total electric flux may be defined as the surface integral of electric field intensity through a given surface. Now we will discuss whether it is a scalar or vector. Obviously it is a scalar quantity because it is expressed as dot product of two vector quantity. Then we will go from the formula. Formula is given, then we will go for unit. Intensity in the previous class, you know that intensity Newton unit is, one is Newton per coulomb, another one unit is volt per meter. If you will put Newton per coulomb and it is meter square, so unit will be Newton meter square coulomb inverse. If you will put volt per meter into meter square, then it will be volt into meter. This will be volt into meter. So there are two types of unit. You can remember any one, or if you do not remember, you can calculate the unit from this formula. So one is Newton meter square coulomb inverse, or you can say volt into meter. Then we have to formulate the dimension of the flux. First you go through the formula Es cos theta. Cos theta has no dimension. Intensity formula in the previous class we have read that F by Q, and it is S surface, F dimension, S dimension and Q dimension. F is force. You just remember that M1 L1 T minus 2. Surface area means L square. Q is A1 T1. So if you just recheck, M to the power 1, L to the power 2, L to the power 1, that is L to the power 3, T to the power minus 2, again T to the power minus 1, that is T to the power minus 3, and A to the power minus 1. So you does not need to remember this dimension. When you want to calculate the dimension of electric flux, you just go through this formula. So by using this formula, you can calculate the dimension of the electric flux. Then we have to discuss maximum and minimum amount of electric flux. First, you recall the formula. Electric flux is Es cos theta. Cos theta value varies from -1 to +1. If it is taken as a positive, then it will outward flux. That means source charge is positive. If answer is negative, then it is inward flux or negative flux, that is represent plus or minus. So here plus does not means more, minus does not means less. Plus means outward flux, minus means inward flux. So first to discuss what is minimum and maximum. Minimum flux will be if cos theta is equal to 0. So minimum flux you should remember 0. Maximum flux is how much? Plus minus 1. Cos theta maximum value in physical sense, that is plus minus 1. If it is plus 1, then answer will be plus Es, that represent outward flux. And if it represent a minus Es, that represent inward flux. You does not misconcept that plus Es is maximum and minus Es is minimum. That is wrong. Plus and minus, that represent only types of the flux. So maximum value is Es and the minimum value is 0. Next we have to discuss under what condition flux will be minimum. Under what condition flux will be minimum. So under what condition flux will be minimum? Now phi minimum is equal to 0. When cos theta is equal to 0. Cos theta 0 means theta 90 degree. Theta 90 degree means intensity vector perpendicular to area vector. You just see the figure. This is given area. This is area vector and this is E vector. You see in your diagram E vector is perpendicular to S vector. But again you see the diagram, area vector is perpendicular to E vector, but given area is parallel to E vector. Given surface is parallel to E vector, but area vector is perpendicular to E vector. So if you write this figure in your language, so language must be plane of the surface, then this one, not S vector. Plane of the surface is parallel to the electric field intensity. So when flux is minimum, now when the given surface is parallel to the electric lines of force or intensity, then flux will be minimum. Then we will come to maximum flux. Maximum flux means plus minus Es. That means cos theta is equal to plus minus 1. Cos theta is equal to plus minus 1 means theta is equal to 0 degree or 180 degree. If theta is equal to 0, figure is like this. You see area vector and intensity vector is parallel. If theta is 180 degree, area vector is in this way, intensity is in this way. But you see for both the figures, the given surface is perpendicular. Theta 0 degree or 180 degree, but given surface is perpendicular. So here you see theta is 90 degree, but given surface is parallel to the intensity. Here theta is equal to 0 degree and 180 degree, but the given surface is perpendicular. So when flux is minimum, language should be plane of the surface should be parallel to the electric field intensity. If flux is maximum, then plane of the surface is perpendicular to the electric field intensity. So these are the subjects. Today we have read what is electric flux and minimum and maximum amount of flux, its unit and dimension and its definition. And very important is, before going to electric flux, we know the idea of area vector. What is area vector? Again I am repeating, it is always helps to you. Area vector is always perpendicular to the given surface. Thank you all.